Spiders. Spiders are what live in basements. Hey everybody, welcome to a new day. It is Tuesday and I am here to kick it off with you. The lighting's a little bit different in here today because I have a lamp going because it is a little dark and gloomy still outside, and I figured if you're going to be watching, you might as well be able to see me. Why you want to see me, I don't know. Sorry about the noise in the background. That's the Roomba. She's still running. I don't really know if she's actually cleaning anything or just bumping into the walls just to keep annoying me, but there is something going on in the other room. Also, to bring you this video today, I took a risk in the challenge to get it here. So the lamp that I have is not exactly conducive to spreading light the way light should be spread for video. And so I went to the basement for you guys. That's right. I went to the basement. My basement is terrifying. It's dusty, dirty, cramped, smelly. All those basement-y things that nobody really likes. There's creatures down there. I swear there's creatures down there that'll eat you alive. But I knew that I had some reflectors downstairs. If you don't know what a reflector is, it's basically a fabric piece that photographers use to kind of reflect light, whether it be natural or otherwise, onto the subject's face. I knew I had some downstairs, so I went and got one for you guys so that you could see me, because the light without it, it just goes straight to the ceiling and I lose all illumination. So that was pretty much the point of going to get one. Also, for some reason, I keep falling out of frame, so I'm going to try to move myself around here. There we go, that's much better. I don't know why it wants to move out of frame. That's kind of weird. I'm also not using the DJI app today. I'm using just direct to my phone, so that could be part of it as well. But I am still absolutely loving this thing. Loving this thing. So yes, for you guys today, I did take that risk. I went downstairs into my scary, scary basement, and I don't like it down there. I don't like basements in general, honestly. I don't care whether it's my own or somebody else's. I don't like basements. They're frightening. There's things in basements. You know, that's where all horror films take place, right? Basements. Where do people go and bury bodies in a house? In the basement. Sometimes the attic or the chimney, but usually it's the basement. So I don't like basements, and mine is particularly frightening. I will probably never show you on camera what my basement looks like, but let's just say it's not a pretty picture. Everything's covered in cobwebs and dust. It's just not fun, and I have a lot of stuff stacked and stored down there, and we all know what lives in basements besides creatures, monsters, and things like that. Spiders. Spiders are what live in basements. I am a horrible arachnophobe, and there's no way I want to be in that basement. So that's one of the things that I just don't like, is I don't like going in my basement. It's really gross down there, and I've said to myself, hey, self, I'm going to clean this basement. And myself typically replies, we can do this another day. Just go play video games or something. Shh. Needless to say, the basement has never been cleaned but once or twice. So it's just going to kind of stay that way. I don't like being down there. I tried cleaning it out last year or year before, and I even tried to clear out part of it this year. Interest is just not there. I don't like the idea of cleaning it. I mean, really and honestly, if it was clean, I don't know what I would use it for other than storage anyway. So I guess it's really just serving its purpose. The only time I go down there is to do laundry, which I absolutely hate going down there to do. And I go down there occasionally to build a fire. Other than that, there's no reason for me to be down there. Nobody wants to be down there. It's just dark, dank, and frightening. And it's kind of like a phobia almost. And I don't really care for that at all. So I avoid it at all costs. That's what I do. It's just like everything else we do. We shove everything under the rug and we pretend that it doesn't exist. And that's exactly what I plan on doing with this basement for the rest of eternity, is pushing it under the rug. Because nobody can see in it. Nobody can see what's down there except for me, and the door's always closed so nobody can see in it anyway. So I've been thinking more about the Orlando situation as well. You know, I told you guys I had thought about moving to Florida. Now, I have thought about moving to Florida before. This is not my first rodeo. Back when I was like 25, I believe it was, 23, between 24 and 25, I decided that I was going to move to Orlando. Again, it was one of those things that I really wanted to do, and I was really gung-ho for. At the time, there would have been 1, 2, 3, 4 people moving with me. Well, 3 people plus me, so 4 total. So it would have been a pretty substantial, easy move, you would think. 4 people, easier, cheaper, more, on the person. Well, it didn't really work out that way, and it ended up with the dog that I had at the time getting stolen. We won't go into that whole story. Let's just say there's a story there, and we'll leave it at that. So, there was a dog involved, but regardless, neither here nor there, it didn't work out, and I'm kind of glad it didn't, because one of the people that stole the dog actually ended up being one of the reasons I didn't end up moving down there, and I would have hated to have been roommates with this person. So, enough of that, moving on. So I tried again a couple years ago as well, and that didn't really pay out as well. I was really hoping to move with my job. My job opened up a location in Orlando, and I thought, wow, I can move to Orlando with my job, and I applied for that. We won't talk about how that worked out, but let's just say I'm still in Tennessee, so that tells you right there, I did not move to Orlando with my job. So that brings us around to the fact that I am now looking at moving to Orlando on my own. Because you guys know I work from home. This is my office, by the way. If you didn't know, welcome to my office. Because I work from home, I have the ability to travel and move about as I please. And I can live anywhere I want within the continental United States. Can't move outside of the country, so no Canada for me. Oh well, darn. I don't really care for the cold anyway, as you may or may not know. So I'm looking at Florida again. The Florida is on the table, and I've been talking it over quite a bit. As I mentioned yesterday a little bit, I have been looking at some apartments and some homes and some houses and things like that for rent to kind of get myself, in the mindset of it. And I've even gone as far as to look up how I can transfer insurance and driver's license and all of that. So I've already got the information that I need to become a Florida resident. So I'm kind of gaining the speed and knowledge. It all just really depends on 1 or 2 factors, whether or not it actually happens. And honestly, I'm kind of crossing my fingers at this point. I'm not going to say that I desperately need a change, but as you guys may or may not know, I've lived in the woods in the country for most of my life. I grew up in a small subdivision, but really and honestly, when we think subdivision, it was not a standard subdivision. It wasn't row houses. There were a bunch of houses, but keep in mind, when I say a bunch, there was like 12. And when I say they were together, they were separated by about an acre of land each, roughly, and you usually did not see the other person. And then, of course, now where I live in the middle of bumstick nowhere, and so I see no one ever. So the idea of living in a city is exciting because I've never done it. I've never lived in an apartment, so that's kind of frightening and exciting too. So if you live in an apartment or you've been in an apartment or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below how bad it is, if it's bad at all, or what I should be leery of. I've looked at renting houses, but most of the houses only do 1-year leases, and I'm really looking at doing like a 6-month lease and then another 6-month if need be, because I want to make sure that I make the right decision. I want to move down there. I want to settle in, spend 6 months. If I don't like it, I can leave after 6 months and come right back home. If I do like it, I'll extend another 6 months and kind of see how that plays out. So that's kind of my thought process on it and whether or not I really want to do it. And I'm thinking about doing it pretty seriously. So honestly, if it comes down to it, if these factors line up and everything goes in a little row, it'll probably happen because my mind is pretty much set on it again. It's time for a change sometimes. And if all these things come out into play, why not? I can only see the perks of it all, really. I see some cons involved, of course. My family is here. My friends are here, so that's going to be a bit of a drastic change. The fact that I'm not going to be able to walk out on my porch when it's warm outside and not really care about what the neighbors see because there's no neighbors. So that's going to be a big change. But really and honestly, for the most part, I can probably forego those things for the conveniences that are possible. Because as you probably are watching this, you live in a location more than likely where you can order pizza and have it delivered. I can't do that. Pizza will not deliver here. Amazon same day delivery, not available here. I can't get groceries delivered here. An Uber? Puh, please. There's not even an Uber in the nearest town. So there's no way that you can really, really enjoy all that life here. So I'm thinking maybe, and the Roomba is moving closer, so I apologize for her being loud and getting all up in my business. Let's just wait. She's gonna go down the hall now. I'll probably get stuck under the laundry basket. She tends to do that. I have one of those 3-piece laundry baskets that's on a rack, and she gets under there sometimes and she can't get back out. She's got problems. So anyway, that's kind of the pros for me, is to be able to get stuff that I need when I need it without having to drive 2 hours to get it. As you guys know, it takes me, or may not know, it takes me roughly about 30 to 35 minutes to get to a store. If I want to go to like a big store like Walmart, it's 30 minutes one way, 30 to 35 minutes one way. So to go to Walmart, just to Walmart and back, without even going into Walmart, you're looking at a good hour. So anytime you need something, you're looking at a good 2 to 2.5 hours just to get what you need. And even if it's just something simple. Now keep in mind, there is a dollar store between here and there, so I go there quite frequently. Just because if I need something really quick, like, you know, stick of butter or something, I just go there. But if I need bigger items or specifically anything, I have to go to Walmart. If I want something even bigger, so say when I bought my Osmo and I wanted this, not going to my town, no. You're looking at about a 45-minute to an hour drive to get to a place that sells an Osmo, and that's just one way. So you're looking at about a 4-hour trip just to get an Osmo. That's pretty much how life works here. So the idea of living in a place where I can actually be able to get things and do things without hesitation, I'm kind of interested in. I'm kind of interested in that idea. So let me know in the comments down below again, if you live in an apartment, have you ever lived in an apartment? What's it like? What's the pros and cons? The ones that I'm looking at, again, are pretty new built, and they're really kind of resort style living. They're not like a standard apartment. So I'm hoping with a newer build and resort style, it'll be a little more conducive to less noise. I don't like the idea of neighbors stomping around above my head. But I also don't want to be on the top floor either, in case somebody burns down the house. So lots of pros and cons to think about on it. But I have been weighing that option in my mind. One of the biggest pros, of course, is Disney. I can go to Disney pretty much anytime I want, which would be really exciting. And I'd be able to take you guys with me everywhere we go. So that would be the best part, right? To be able to have you guys come along and we go to Disney as much as we want. And my thought process is because I do work at home, because of the hours I keep, when I got off from work, I would easily be able to go to Disney. Because I would be gaining an hour, I'd be getting off an hour earlier, which would be even more awesome. So, wait a minute, will that work out right? I think I just messed that up somewhere. No, I'd be losing an hour. Would I? Yeah, I'd be losing an hour. Oh no! I didn't think about that part. I'd be losing an hour, so I'd be getting off at 7 instead of 6, which would really stink. But, you know what? Whatever. So if I get up at 7, the fireworks start at 9. I could be there in time to see the fireworks. Not that big of a deal. But, yeah, so the idea's there. The idea's in play. Who knows if it'll come to fruition. This could just be me mouthing off about a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. But that's the opportunity. But if you're watching this and you live in Florida, live in Orlando, live in an apartment, anything, let me know what your opinions are on the whole place and the whole idea. Because I really like to get feedback around that. But as for me, I'm going to shut up now. And I'm going to go back to doing what I'm actually paid to do, which is work. So lunch is over. I'll see you guys later. Real quick before my phone dies and I have to charge it, I wanted to show you the shirt I'm wearing today. This is my shirt. And my sister got this for me for Christmas. I'm holding it out so you can see it. I absolutely love this shirt. If you know what the reference is from, let me know. Alright, y'all. Well, that's the end of the day for me. As you can see behind me, the sun has gone down. And the day is winding down. So it'll be time for me to go to the store, pick up my groceries, because I did get those ordered online, so I don't have to pick them up in the store. And maybe grab something to eat. I think tonight will be a salad type of night. I'm kind of hungry, but also salad sounds really, really good. So again, as always, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you like it up and give me a subscribe if you're just new to following me or seeing me, since you're not following me probably yet if you haven't subscribed, I guess. I'm real smart. Anyway, and you also, if you want to, make sure you follow me on any of the social media I've got posted out there. It should be in the About section there or at the top of the channel. If you look, I've got everything. I don't post on the Facebook very often, but I do post quite a bit on the Twitter and Instagram feed, so make sure you check me out there as well. But I guess I'm calling this day done. I will see you guys on the other side. Till tomorrow.